personally, this is me being bitter Betty. I think the VA is a pill mill. I think you go through and you just get pills.
It can be.
Yeah.
You know, one
Not
thing,
for everybody. There are exceptions.
I've been known to talk shit about the VA from time to time. And what I don't do is a good job of painting the other side. There are a lot of people who've gotten fantastic care from the VA.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't make the news.
Yep.
But the 32 pill guy who eventually decides that he's going to start a pistol instead of brushing his teeth in the morning, that's going to make the news. And it's going to vilify the VA system writ large. And I don't know if the VA system deserves that necessarily.
They wanted.
Personally, this is me.
Hold on. So that's it, right? And I'll talk my personal story here. I have my. I always keep this handy dandy. Okay, this is a bag of prescriptions. It's an entire bag. There's probably 20 prescriptions in here, just full of pills, all from the VA. And I will say this: I have gotten fantastic care from the VA personally. I do believe, again, personally, that the VA is way too quick to throw a pill on it, get you on a treatment plan, which can be good for some. I just don't think it's the end all be all answer. No, I'm not a medical professional, but I do know being doped, if I took all that, okay, I wouldn't be present with my wife and kids, right? I would be out of it. For instance, when I take sumatriptan, it puts me to sleep. If I take sumatriptan, I am out for at least a solid 6-7 hours. I would agree with both that VHA definitely gets a lot of bad rap from the press, from veterans in general. And I'd also agree with that I get fantastic care and the VA is a pill mill, right? So I'm on both sides of the fence here. Jason, I want to get your 2 cents on VHA specifically.
Yeah, I'm the same. I mean, I think that conventional medicine is kind of that way, and I think that the VA is even the VA is kind of a lagging indicator in some ways of what's happening. You don't really know because they're kind of always behind. So you might have more, I guess, naturopathic minded MDs who go, okay, look, this is your situation. This is the road we could go down if these other things don't work for you. Give these things a shot. Try this first, and then we'll circle back around and decide if you need to start taking all these crazy things. I think that the VA hasn't gotten there yet, and part of it is because it's federal government, right? I mean, look how long they're taking for, whether you agree with it or not. It's the mindset of this marijuana, right? So the conventional doctors in states where it is legal and either as recreational or medical, or in states where it's just legal for medical purposes, that's been around for a while now. It's not like it's this, whoa, what's happening thing. That's been a thing. And the VA is behind the curve on that. There's been plenty of, and again, it doesn't matter where you individually sit on this, right? It's outside of my wheelhouse. I mean, I didn't read any studies. I didn't do any studies. I didn't participate. Well, I participated in my own study when I was in high school and, before I joined the Marine Corps. But besides that, I don't really have a leg to stand on with it. But the point is that looking for alternative methods of treatment other than take all of these things that cause all these other things and keep you in some sort of a brain fogged state is probably the way that the VA should be thinking. What else can we do to address the issues at hand? So I think that there is some more. I think the VA is making some moves to be a little more that way. All this to say, Clay, yes, I agree. It's both things. I think that the VA is slowly starting to incorporate some other methods. There is some movement. A bill just passed somewhere in the Senate. It got moved forward in some subcommittee or something on allowing the VHA specifically to basically have conversations about marijuana, and I'm not sure how far it's going, but in the legal states, right? So where if it's legal in this state, the VA workers in that state, doctors, can then have that conversation and work with you as the veteran. So they are moving in that direction. I think that part of the onus has to be on the veteran themselves too. I mean, look, do you want to walk in and just get a handful of pills, or do you want to figure it out? If you want to, it's not always the easiest road, I'll tell you, right? Everybody wants a quick fix, sadly, right? Everybody wants to be able to press the buttons on the microwave and get what you need in 3 seconds. Going a more holistic-y or naturopathic type of a way is a longer road. And it takes a little more to get through it. And I think that sometimes people are going to be like, no, just give me some pills and I'll move on. And I want to keep eating the same way that I'm eating, and I want to keep doing the same things that I'm doing. And I'm hoping that the pill will mask some of the consequences of my actions, right? For example, I have ankylosing spondylitis, right? It's fun. And my joints, like every joint in my body, can just really almost debilitating ache, so bad. And it's worse if I eat inflammatory foods. Go figure, right? So figure out what inflammatory foods are and then eliminate those. And then guess what? Your joint pain goes way down, and then all of a sudden that's okay. Or I could take a bunch of pills, right? So, but then I can't eat the things I want to eat. Right. So my tongue has a mind of its own, right? Man, I want to eat that, whatever it is, because it's delicious for 5 seconds, but then I pay the price. So I think some of the onus is on us, right, to figure it out. And some of it is on the VA just pushing and not giving any other avenue or way to deal with it.
Oh, yeah. I think my biggest concern of veteran healthcare, and I'm speaking from the perspective of a veteran who uses the VHA, okay? My biggest concern is VHA is extremely overwhelmed, especially in the last 2 years. PACT Act, there's a huge piece of PACT Act that's not disability. It's actually healthcare related. Millions and millions of veterans are now eligible for healthcare through the PACT Act alone. That's not to mention all the other avenues to VA healthcare. My biggest concern is VHA is overwhelmed. And whenever you see a provider, it's quick and easy to give them the pill to subsidize whatever that is, instead of actually work on the issue. The dieting is huge, Not once has VA recommended me to diet. I don't want to get on to my healthcare history, okay? But recently, I've been really dieting just for healthcare reasons. And that's not from the VA. That's just that's me not wanting to take a bag of pills, right? Is what that turns into. That's my biggest concern for VHA, is that they're overwhelmed. And because they are overwhelmed, they are essentially the pill mill. That's my biggest concern. I don't know if that's the case. However, that's my experience. Looking at that podcast, that very, very 42-second short, I feel like that's the experience of many, many veterans. Of those I talk to, my friends have the same experience. And so, I think the pill mill is an underlying issue to something much larger. And I hope that's not the case, but I genuinely believe that is the case. And that's not good for veterans at all, right? And I think veteran healthcare, everyone wants to talk VA disability. No one wants to talk veteran healthcare. And it comes down to, you're going to have to do it yourself. And the honest answer is people don't want to,
Right.
And that sucks. That's my 2 cents on that, Jason. Sorry to end on a bad note.
Yeah,
but it's not good at all.
Yeah, I think you touched on it though. I think you're right. I think that, and it's the same issue with the VSOs, right? You're overwhelmed, so therefore you're not proactive, yeah. I mean, the VHA is understaffed, and for whatever reason, they think that eliminating 10,000 jobs is a great idea. And what are we left with? We're left with overworked and so who pays the price? The veteran, right? So yeah, they're getting the care, sure, but they're not getting the quality care. And that goes back to the why do veterans want to go to community care? Because they can go get quality care. They can actually have some bedside manner, have a high quality experience, and be able to get some real traction on their healthcare, and turn a corner in a positive way instead of, well, you're just kind of on pills and that's what it's going to be for the rest of your life. Just kind of accept that and pat you on the head, right? So I think you did. I think you nailed it, and that's a good point. And again, there's plenty of groups out there that are very loud. We need to be a little bit louder, I think. So
Absolutely.
anyway,